Okay, let me do the solutions, or at least what I think they might be, and you're going to have difference of opinions by different choices, but I'm going to try to do the simplest set of solutions that I can do just to make this quick and dirty. Okay? If you're looking at 3 sine of 3x, some things I notice. Amplitude is a 3, and the b is a 3, so that's b. And I have to tell you that it doesn't go up or down. There's no plus or minus number. Matter of fact, the number is probably a 0, so I don't have to worry about it shifting up or down. What else do I know? It doesn't go up and down. No. It doesn't go left or right, which is called a phase shift, because inside that parentheses, I don't see a 3x plus or minus a number. I think he called that I I think he called it a D, I think, but I'll call it a D just because there's no number in there, so it's not going left or right. All right. So also one thing I want you to notice is that the sign is positive. That means no matter where I start drawing this thing, I want you to one period. So since it doesn't move up or down and it doesn't go left or right, I know this middle line is going to be y equals to 0. And since the amplitude is 3, from that middle line, the middle line is always where it divides the graph in two because the amplitude goes up 3 and down 3. So up 3 and down 3. Now, let me keep this really simple. I'm only doing one period. So why don't I start on this big line here? And for this argument, I will call it 0. X is 0. This is y is 3, y is 0, y is a negative 3. I need those. This is x is 0. So I'll even make it a little more obvious that I am starting here. Okay, here goes. All right. And this is the middle. So these two things are important lines. Since I only need a division of 4 pieces, I can pretend to end the graph right here. I'll end the graph right here because the reason I know that the period will be done there is because actually I'm lying there. Let me back up. It could end there. Yeah, I'm only doing one period. I'm gonna end it there. I changed my mind again. And so my b is a 3, so the period takes 2 pi divided by 3. So I know for a fact that from the beginning to the end is 2 pi over 3. And the reason I chose to spread it out like this is because it's already cut in half. I'll do it a different color. It's already cut in half here. It's already cut in half here and here. So I got nice places to put my numbers. Before I put my numbers, it's a positive sign. So sine starts here, goes up here, comes back down, comes to the very minimum, back up to the middle. So the graph actually is a nice smooth curve going up, smooth rounding up there. And it actually goes more. And it actually goes more this way too, for that matter. But I only want one period, and that is one period. 2 pi distance, okay? So there's everything we need. All I'm missing is I need 3 more x values. I have the 3y values, but I need 2 more x values, 3x values. So here goes. I'm going to do my scratch work over here. To get this middle term, right here, I take this endpoint and this endpoint, add them up, 0 plus 2 pi over 3. Take that number and divide it by 2. That's how you do the average between two numbers. So that adds up to 2 pi over 3 divided by 2. Here's my magic. This is magic, guys. Is 2 pi over, that's a 2. I was doing the answer in my head, doggone it. 2 times 3, 2 times 3 is 6. That turns into a pi over 3. If you choose to simplify, I'd rather simplify. So what did I say? I said it was a 2 pi. No, I said it was a pi over 3. Pi over 3. Now, to get this x number, I'll take this endpoint and this endpoint, add them together and divide by 2. So let me do that work with. It's a 0 and a pi over 3. Here it goes. 0 plus pi over 3 divided by 2 is pi over 3 divided by 2. Here's my magic. Watch my magic. Pi over 6. It's mathemagic. Abracadabra. Pi over 6. So this number is pi over 6. Okay, let me do this number right here. This is the endpoint. This is an endpoint. Pi over 3 and 2 pi over 3. So let me go over there and do it. You should do the same thing on your paper. You should have where you can find your work. Pi over 3 plus 2 pi over 3 divided by 2. Those were the numbers, right? 2 pi over 3? Yes, they were. Since the denominator is already the same, then that adds up to 3 pi over 3. All of that is divided by 2. Watch the magic. 3 pi over 6. Well, that reduces to pi over 2. So here goes. Pi over 2. All right, so that's one down. Let's do another one here. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm just going as fast as I can. All right, here is an upside down cosine. Remember what an upside down cosine does. It starts at the bottom, then it goes up, 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 up. It's going to look something like that. So I need to find the middle, and I need to see how high does it go and how low will it go. And let's see what else happens. Okay, the amplitude is 3, and this time B is a 1. B is a 1. So my frequency is 1. So think about what my period will be. My period's going to be 2 pi divided by 1. 2 pi. It finishes in 2 pi. But where does it start? The phase shift, this is a horizontal shift. Horizontal shift is also called phase shift, would be left pi over 4. Left pi over 4. So where do you want to draw pi over 4? It doesn't matter. I'm going to draw it right here. I'm just going to be pi over 4. It's not 0. It's pi over 4. And does it shift up or down? No. There's no number plus or minus a number. So it doesn't shift up or down. That means the first y value that I know is 0. And if the amplitude is a 3, I don't care about the negative because we do the absolute value. That's a 3 up there, and it has to be a negative 3 down here. I mean, this is easier than lemonade because now I got my three y's. I got one of my x's, and so I will make it known that I'm starting here. And you know what? Just for fun, I'm going to end it over here. Again, like it's magic. How can I do that? Because it doesn't matter. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers that'll go here. This is just going to make it so easy. So where does it end? That's a little harder. This was easier because it started at 0. And I just had to go 2 pi over 3 distance because of my period was 2 pi over 3. This period is, I wrote it somewhere. Here it is. My period was 2 pi. Oh, okay. So does that mean I put a 2 pi here? Absolutely not. I don't put a 2 pi there. You know what goes there? 2 pi plus this pi over 4. That's what goes there. I don't want to do it there because I need a number there. So here goes. 2 pi over 1 plus pi over 4. I don't divide by 2 because I'm not doing the average. I am just adding to pi over 4. That turns into 8 pi plus a pi divided by 4. How did I do that, you ask? I started here, I multiplied straight up. I went plus. I start right here and I multiply straight up. That's plus a pi. Then I take the product of the two. So there is 9 pi over 4. It doesn't look very pretty, but I'm sorry. So let me erase this chicken scratch that isn't helping me anyway. The answer was 9 pi over 4, so I'm going to put 9. What happened there? 9 pi over 4, because that was the sum. Yes, it is. All right. I'm halfway there. I'm halfway done. Here goes. To get the middle here, what do? I add these two numbers and I divide by 2. It's pi over 4. Oh, that's easy. Those same denominator. So if I go pi over 4 plus 9 pi over 4 divided by 2, that turns into 10 pi over 4 because it's really simple to add common denominators. And it's divided by 2. And I hope you're ready. What happened? That erased on me. 4 divided by 2. I hope you're ready for the magic. Abra, cadabra, 10 pi over 8. Because you always multiply the two denominators. So that reduces to 5 pi over 4. Look, we're cooking with gas. 5 pi over 4. Okay? And I have a guess. I have a guess that between 1 and 5 would be the number 3. That's in the middle because they're both the same denominator. I have a guess that between 5 and 9, the middle would be 7 over 4. Let's see if I'm right. Pi over 4 plus pi over 5 pi over 4. So 5 pi over 4 plus pi over 4 divided by 2 is thing stopped on me. All right. No, don't move that. Okay. All right, here goes. What was I going to say? Starts at pi over 4. My peer... Oh, I thought I already erased all this. Guess it didn't save. My iPad froze on me. Whoop. I need more room to do my scratch work. Okay. So, I'm looking at the graph again. My period, tau, is 2 pi over b, and b is the 4. So that's 2 pi over 4. The whole thing finishes exactly in pi over 2 again. So that means from here to here, this distance is pi over 2. I think up here was the same thing. The first problem I did? No, it was 2 pi over 3. This one was... What was this one at? This one was... no, this one wasn't. What was my third one? Okay, my third one, it finishes in 2 pi over 2. So I have to take my pi over 4 and add it to pi over 2 to finish it up. I'm just adding to it. I'm adding to the first number. That gives me 2 pi plus 4 pi. That's 6 pi over 8. That reduces to 3 pi over 4. So this is 3 pi over 4. 3 more numbers and I have 100. Okay, here goes. I want the middle, so I take my pi over 4. I add it to the 3 pi over 4. Divide that by 2. That turns into a common denominator. I think I did this before, where I say if it's a common denominator, that's 4 pi over 4 divided by 2. Abracadabra, here's the magic math. Math of magic. 4 pi over 8 turns into a pi over 2. Can it be that? Guess so. Pi over 2. I mean, it is bigger than pi over 4. Okay. Let's see what happens. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'll do the middle of these two. So I need to take pi over 4, add it to pi over 2, take that divided by 2. The math looks like this. Now they're not the common denominator, so I'm going to have to do this. 2 times pi is 2 pi, plus 4 times pi is plus 4 pi, divided by the product, that's 4 times 2 is 8, all divided by 2. This turns into 6 pi over 8 divided by 2. Abracadabra, 6 pi over 16. That reduces to 3 pi over 8, if I'm right. 3 pi over 8. 3 pi over 8. And let's see, between pi over 2 and 3 pi over 4, let's do that one. Pi over 2 plus 3 pi over 4 divided by 2. And where did I get that answer of pi over 2? Where'd that come from? That came when I added the pi over 4 plus 3 pi over 4. Where'd I do that? That was this. 4 pi over 4 divided by 2. 4 pi over 8. Oh, yeah, that's what I get. There it is, pi over 2. I just forgot where it was. Okay, that turns into magic math here. 4 times pi is 4 pi plus 2 times 3 is 6 pi over the product, 8 divided by 2. That's 10 pi over 16. That reduces to 5 pi over 8. So I'm done. I think that's 5 pi over 8. Now, if you want to check your work, every interval here has to be the same distance. So if I make a common denominator, I should see a pattern. Pi over 4 is really the same as 2 pi over 8. So pretend this is 2 pi over 8. 3 pi over 8. Well, it moved by 1 pi over 8. And let's see, can I make pi over 12 into an 8? Maybe it's not even the right answer. That makes me question that because I have a 3 and I have a 5. And I have, oh, here's a 1. It went from a 1 and it added 2. So if I go add 2 more 8s, that would be 5 eighths. That's weird. I think something's wrong here. I didn't want to have to double check anything. I was just trying to get this done. Let me do that the work again, and I'm going to pause it. I'm gonna rework it and see if we get the same answers. Be right back. I'm just showing you that I erased it all. Now I'm gonna do it again and see if I get the same answers. Okay, I double checked everything, and I got the same numbers again. Okay, so if you see something wrong, you can send me a message. Every time you catch me, and ooh, what happened here? I didn't want to move all that. There. Oh, there. Gotta move it when I have a pen selected. Last one here. Factor out this b. B is definitely a 2, but I gotta factor it out. So what I'm really looking at is y equals to a shifting up 2 plus a positive sign with an amplitude of 2. I'm pulling out the 2, leaving an x plus, not plus, x minus pi over 2. Whenever I'm pulling out a number, then that number I pulled out has to become the denominator in order for it to cancel out. Okay, so you want me to do it the same way? Look, I did all the pictures in the same part. I could be a rebel. Let me start at the beginning this time. Let me start here, and let me end it. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to make 1. And this 2 tells me that I can actually get two pictures if I go to 2 pi distance, because my period is 2 pi divided by the 2 gives me, it finishes up in pi. So theoretically, if this whole distance was 2 pi, then this would be a pi, and I would get one picture in it. I'll prove it to you. Well, you won't. It'll be a pi distance, and I'd have another pi distance. All right, so here goes. Let's see. Let me do the y's. Those are the easiest. It's shifted up 2, and then I have to add 2, so it's 4. Take away 2 is 0. See, the whole thing shifted up 2. And it is going to the right. It's going to the right pi over 2. So this is a positive pi over 2. All right, so erase that. That's not true. Pi over 2 is where it starts. My period I'd already determined was going to be, where did I do the work at? Right here. My period was going to be pi. So I add pi to it. That'll take me to whatever this value is going to be at the end, okay? If I can erase, make that cleaner. Pi over 2 plus the total distance to finish is a pi, not a 5, over 1. That turns out to be the total distance will be, oh, I don't divide by 2. I'm just adding to it. That adds up to pi plus 2 pi over 2 gives me 3 pi over 2. So the end point is 3 pi over 2. Now the middle, I take the pi over 2 plus the 3 pi over 2. Take that answer, divide by 2, gives me, this is a 1 pi over 2 and 3, that's 4 pi over 2 divided by 2. That's 4 pi over 4. That just gives me a plain pi. So that's a pi. Now I have to take the pi over 2 plus a pi, get that answer, and divide it by 2. That'll give me this number in the middle here. That'll give me that. So that gives me, well, I already added those before. That was 3 pi over 2. But I'm going to divide it by 2. That's 3 pi over 4. There it is. Let me change the color so you can see it. 3 pi over 4. Two more numbers and I'm done. Pi over 2 plus, that answer was 3 pi over 4, right? Plus 3 pi over 4 divided by 2 is 4 pi plus 6 pi over 8. 4 pi plus 6 pi is 10 pi over 8 divided by 2 is 10 pi over 16. 5 pi over 8. 5 pi over 8. One more number and I'm done. 3 pi over 4, that's the middle, plus the 3 pi over 2, and take that divided by 2, that gives me 6 pi and 12 pi. 6 pi plus 12 pi over 8 divided by 2 is 18 pi over 16, which reduces to 9 pi over, 9 pi over 8. Last number was 9 pi over 8. And so all I'll ask of you is please do your scratch work a little farther away so that this is a clean picture. These are pretty clean, but then I got lazy here and I started doing mathematics too close to the graph. How does the graph look? It has to start here in the middle, has to go up, has to come down, has to go all the way down, has to go up. I could keep on going, do another period if I wanted to. Up, down, all around. Did I do that right? Up, down, up. There you go. So beautiful. Now I got 2 periods graphed, but I only need 1 period, so I'm only going to put numbers on the one. All right, let's move on to the pictures. I'm tired. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do both of these. A lot of answers will work. And I'm going to try to stick with my answers with pies. Only because you need to realize that if this is a 3, then right here, you may not realize it means pi. Why? Because 3.14 is pi. So here's 3 and a little more. I'm just guessing. Over here, right after the 6, I don't know if it's right around here or not, would be 2 pi. Now let's see if I can guess it better. Let's see. Between 6 and 8, they got 1, 2, 3 tick marks in the middle. So you're technically dividing it by 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would really be 6.25, 6.5, 7. No, I'm off. I'm still off. Not enough there. 6.2, 6.4, 6.8. No. How am I going to go all the way to 8? That's a distance of 2. So that would be a distance of 1. That would be my 7 then, right here. Starting here, skip 1, 7, skip. Okay, that's it. So between, this must be 6.5, which means this must be around 6.2. So that's my 2 pi. So I was right. That is about 2 pi. But your computers never give you in terms of pi. So we're going to have to be estimating it. Now, the next thing you want to do is decide what's the middle of this thing, okay? What is the middle from this upper to the lower? So that's a 2 and that's a -4. That's a total of 6. The middle has to be what's half of 6. Half of 6 is 3. So if I start at a -4, then when I get to the -1, that would be a distance of half of the total. So use a ruler. Don't do what I'm going to do. Don't do what I'm going to do. I'm trying to do it by freehand. And you know that I'm such a good artist. All right, so, oh, you know what? I do have a tool here to make lines. Somebody showed it to me one time. Where's the lines? Where was lines? Where was lines? Wouldn't you know it, I don't know where the lines are now. It was so cool when someone showed it to me. That's a star. I could do, I don't know what that does. Lines. That's lettering. No, no. Okay, I quit. I'm just gonna do my old-fashioned line. Somebody showed me one time. So I'll try to be slow. Okay, there's my middle, which told me that between 1 and -1 and 4, that amplitude is a 3. And if I go up from a -1 to 2, that's also going up a 3. So it's perfect. That's my beginning. What is 1 under? That's a -1. I got one of my y values already. I know the graph shifts down 1. I know that means that's that number out plus or minus c is a -1. Then I know my amplitude is a 3. Okay, now that's all that I know for sure. I am going to choose. I'm going to choose to be over here. I'm going to start my curve over here because that's in the middle going up. That's a perfect sine curve starting from over here. And it ends here, okay? So what I'm going to do is say that my phase shift is slightly left of a -6. Please humor me and let me say that my phase shift is a -2 pi. I think I almost have everything. From -6 or -2 pi till I get to the end. Look at that. I think it ends at the 0. That distance from the beginning to the end is a distance of 2 pi. That means my period is 2 pi. That means my b, 2 pi over what is 2 pi? B is 1. So I have my b. So my equation, y equals shifted down 1. I'm using a positive sign because I'm going up, plus the positive sign. The amplitude is 3. My b is a 1, so I don't have to have a number out front. And it is shifted, x shifted to the left, 2 pi, x plus 2 pi. And I'm sticking to it. Could you have done something else? You bet. You could have started right here and ended it right here, which looks like more than 6. From 0 to a little more than that distance, wow, it's scary, is a distance of 2 pi. That equation, if you choose to use that equation, b is still a 1. My a is still a 3. My shifting down is still a 1. So y equals -1 plus 3 sine of x. And I'm not shifting left or right. Wow, that's an easy equation. They are the same equation. I just chose to start over here. And if you wanted to be a rebel, oh my gosh, this is mind-blowing. If you wanted to be a rebel, you could have said, let me start as a cosine on top. That's little smaller than 2. What is pi divided by 2? That's like a 1.5. This is probably a pi. Shifted to the right, pi. Okay, are you feeling it? That equation would have been y equals 2. It's still the -1 because the whole thing is shift. That's where you count it. -1 plus, my amplitude is still a 3, and it's a cosine, and the b is still a 1 because it finished in from this. I'm calling it pi over 2. Is that what we're, no, here, I'm sorry. I'm calling it pi over 2, and it would finish at, that number looks like an 8. Well, what is 3? What is pi over 2 plus the 2 pi? Because that should be approximately, let's see, 1 plus 4 pi. That's 5 pi over 2. 5 times pi is like 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7. Hey, oh, didn't mean to do that. I'm stopping here. Yeah, it is. So it makes sense that that is going to work. Did I finish the graph? Cosine, b is still a 1, x minus pi over 2 looks like would be a winner as well. So I just gave you 3 answers that to me are all the same picture. It's just, how do I look at it? How do I look at it? I could be a rebel. I could do it from here and do a negative cosine curve, but I'm not doing another one. All right, last one here. Let's see. I need the middle. First thing I do is find the middle. The highest this thing goes was a 1. The lowest it goes is a -1. What's the middle? There it is. There's the middle. You need to find the middle or you can't figure out where your curve starts. What's the distance between this middle and 1? Or down to -1? My amplitude is 1. So my A is 1. My C is a 0. This goes up to a 1. This must go down to a -1. So it's working. Here goes. What else do I need? If my middle is there, I'm going to draw with my, I'm not going to draw, I'm going to use my light. Sine curve starts here, and it will end here. Cosine curve starts here and ends here. I'm going to draw those just to show you. Sine curve could start here, go up, and when it stops right here. That would be one period of a sine curve. You could choose to use that one. Or you could say, hey, my cosine curve starts here at the top, and I can finish it here. Finish it here. So those two numbers are important. Or I could start a negative sine curve here and stop it here. Or I could do a negative cosine curve here Have I done a negative cosine? No, I did a positive. No, I'm sorry. That's not where the negative cosine would start. Silly me. The negative cosine curve has to start at the bottom. I would have to start down here and then go all the way to here. Your choice. Do you want a positive sign starting here? Do you want a negative sign starting here? Do you want a cosine starting here? Or do you want a negative cosine starting here? It doesn't matter. You pick it. I'm going to do the last one since it's out there. It looks to me like it's starting at the 3. I'm going to, just for the sake of argument, and think, that's probably a pi. It's probably a pi. If you just say a 3, if you just want to be a rebel and say, I think it's exactly a 3, then you would say y equals 2. It did not shift up or down, and I'm using a negative cosine with an amplitude of 1, so it's just a negative cosine. And I'm starting at the 3 to the right. So that would be x minus 3. And I'd have to give you credit because that looks pretty good. If you were a stickler and you're saying, no, I think it's going to be a multiple of pi, and you told me y equals negative cosine of x minus pi, I'm giving it to you. I can't remember what the exact answer is. I had to create these on a computer, so I do have the graphs that I used. What else could do? Let me do a sine curve, upside down sine curve. Let me do this one. What is around a negative 1, do you suppose? I can't tell. I'm going to erase that a little bit so I can see if I covered anything up. Once you know it, won't let me erase. Okay. It's negative 1 and some more. How big? It's a one. I got to count them here. Good thing I can zoom in. Too bad you can't. 0, and there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 places till I get to a negative 2. This must be the negative 1. So this must be a negative 1.5, which to me lines up, oh my gosh, beautifully right here at the top. That would be starting at the top. I'll do it in what color? Yellow. Start at the top, come down, go up to the top. That to me is a positive cosine. So I could say y equals, the amplitude was a 1. It doesn't shift up or down. It still stays on this red line, which is at 0. Negative cosine, not negative, positive cosine. Or just say cosine. Y is cosine, and the amplitude from a pi over 2 to that is a 1.5. Oh, wait, that's a negative 1. Negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. It finished it again. It finished up in exactly. Do I have it finishing up the same as the other ones? I had b is to be a 1. I'm getting tired. Oh wait, negative. That was a negative 1.5. That's 3. So that's a pi difference. I'm gonna run with it. Cosine of shifted to the left, so it's a plus pi over 2. This was to the right of pi. That was the right of a pi because I was here, and it was a negative. I think my b is wrong because if this was a pi, okay, if this was a pi and this is 2 pi, it finished in pi. Sorry, that means my b should be a 2. Yes, I knew it was looking funny here. This finished in pi over 2. Negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, that's a distance of pi. That means it finished in half of a 2 pi. Here's what the math looks like. My period is pi. So when I do my period is 2 pi over b, and I plug this pi into here, pi equals 2 pi over b. And if you solve that for b, you get b equals to 2 pi over pi. Then, 2 pi over pi, b is 2. Yeah, okay. Glad I caught my mistake. So what does that mean? That means I would have to have a 2. So I might have to do this work a little different. There's got to be a 2. There's got to be a 2. There's got to be a 2. All right. I'm tired. I did a couple answers, and I'm going to call it a night. And I'll send this. It's nighttime for me, so I'll send this in the morning because I'm not going to be at school on Friday, and you're going to be working on this handout, and I should not have done every problem. Darn it. Well, I'm going to pause this for a second because I'm going to pull up the other worksheet. Okay, you should remember this worksheet. I did a whole bunch of examples of period and amplitude, so I'm not going to do any of those. Look in your notes. Already did them. Number 10, 11, this is a good starter for you to look at the equations of graphs, starting out by just finding the amplitude and the period, okay? And then write an equation of them. And so none of these are shifting up or down or left or right. So it's very simple compared to the ones I just showed you. So I'm going to do let's see, which one looks the hardest? I guess I'll do both of these. And then you can work on the other 2 on your own. So this curve, if it doesn't shift left or right, then 0, 0 always has to be on the curve. Because, on the sine curve. On the cosine curve, it would have to be 0, comma, whatever the height is, which has to do with their amplitude. So go back to the first one. If the height goes up to 3 and down -3, my amplitude was the absolute value of a -3 or 3. The amplitude is 3. And the period is how long does it take to finish? So a complete sine curve started here, has to go to a maximum, has to cross the middle again, goes to a minimum, has to come back up to where it started. So that distance went from 0 to pi because we didn't have a shifting. These both start at 0. That starts at 0. This starts at 0. So I know my period was pi. That means in reality my b has to be 2 because look before I get to 2 pi, I actually create a second graph at 2 pi. So b is 2. And I'll prove it to you. My period is always 2 pi divided by the frequency, b. So the frequency is how many pictures will I make in 2 pi region. Well, that distance here is 2 pi. I made 2 pictures. So my period is 2 pi over 2. Cancels out. My period is pi, which is what I said to begin with. The equation, very simple. It did not shift up or down, so I'm just going to start with y equals, that's a positive sine, but I did get 2 graphs, so it's sine of 2 x's. Or if you want to pull out the 2, that's fine. Y equals sine of 2 x's, but just make a little note that two x's is the whole argument. You either leave it in or take it out. It doesn't make any difference if it's not shifting left or right. This one here, I already told you, if it starts at the top or starts at the bottom, it is a cosine. So since I'm starting at the top and this is a 0, I can't start at the bottom because, well, I can, because you're smarter now. You literally could figure out what my phase shift is, my horizontal shifting. But when this handout was given to you, you didn't know about shifting left or right. So the answer they're looking for, let's see, how high and how low did it go? It went up to 4, went down to 4. That means this is still a y equals to 0. So my amplitude is 4. My period. If this is a cosine starting here, the easiest graph would be, say, then it finishes here. Look at that. It finished one picture in 2 pi. That means my period is it takes 2 pi to make one picture. So my B would have to be a 1 because how many pictures do I make in 2 pi distance? So my equation, the easiest equation would be y equals to 4 cosine of x. Now, if you want to have an advanced problem right now, that if I say, what if I start here? Now, normally we didn't know because back then you didn't know what that meant. This meant I'm shifting it pi over. So now I have a phase shift of a pi, which means my equation could look like this. Y equals to a negative 4 cosine of x. And since my b is 1, I don't have to worry about it. But now I'm shifting to the right a pi, so I do minus pi. Again, I've already this week talked to you about how the same curve can have different equations. This is the answer the author wanted because this was before I taught you about phase shift. All right, you got 2 more on that page. Get it done in class because I told you I have a sub. No, I don't have a sub. I'm not there. So next one. I've got some grids. He just wants me to graph these sine of x. So there's no shifting up or down. There's no shifting left or right. There's no shifting up or down. There's no shifting left or right. So the graph should be very simple. They both start at 0, and the axis of the y equals to 0 and the x equals to 0 is a perfect place to start a sine. Keep it simple. There's a 1 in front of the x. That means it has to finish in 2 pi. So I'm look at, there's his 2 pi. Notice it's a little bigger than 6, like we did in the last set of pictures. So the amplitude is a 3. So what I'm going to do is go up to the 3, and I'm going to make a line to let me realize that's the highest it can go. I'll go down to the negative 3. Remember, I'm not shifting up or down, so I'm counting from 0. And he wants me to graph, give the amplitude and the period, then sketch the graph. And he wants me to sketch it. He wants 2 periods. He wants me to go left 2 pi. So let me just do the first one first. Start here at 0. Remember what I said about you need to have, from this here, we need to have, we cut it off. Was that the 2 pi? Yeah. Let me cut this off at the negative 2 pi. That's over here. So between these 2 goalposts, I need to cut it up into 4 equal regions. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's not very nice. So the middle I'll put with red. The middle is here. And the middle between these 2, unfortunately, is not either one of these numbers. It's actually around here. Actually, I'm pretty convinced it's there. You know why? What's half of 2 pi? Pi. What's half of pi? Pi over 2. So then between here and here is the 3 pi over 2, which is, did he mark it? It's right. Maybe I didn't mark the 2 pi in the right place. I thought he was putting it here. Yeah, I'm probably not scoot over enough. See, I see it's a little line here. I got to move that line. My CCD is telling me, you can't leave that green line there. And I bet you somebody was telling me as you're watching the video, 2 pi was actually out to here. There it is. Okay, and actually, let's see, over here, was that one okay? No, that one's wrong too. I didn't zoom in to really see, that's why it's close though, it's very close. 2 pi was this tick mark right here, negative 2 pi, so it's right here. Or no, I'm way off. It's over here. Well, I'm really blinded. Okay, so let me erase that. I should just start the video over, but I want to go to bed. But I did promise you some solutions. All right, I'm ready now. So between pi and 0 is pi over 2. Between pi and 2 pi should be 3 pi over 2. So there it is. It's right here. So close enough, guys. Close enough. Start low, go up high, come down to the middle, go down low, go to the 2 pi. There is one beautiful period. But he wants the other period, so start, well, I don't have them cut out. Let's see. There's half, and I can't see the tick mark on this one. About here. Okay. So start in the middle, go up high. You see why I made that green line there? So I know how high to go. Then go down to the middle. Whoop, it stopped writing. Stupid thing. Boom. I don't think I even got that one. Then in the middle, it went down to the low, and then it goes back up to the beginning. They should match up. They should pretty much match up. There. There's that one. Amplitude is 3. Period is 2 pi. That's my period. 2 pi. Because it finished the whole picture in 2 pi. Together, there's 4 pi. 2 pi here, 2 pi here. Do the cosine graph. Amplitude is 2, and the period is still 2 pi divided by the b, which is a 1, 2 pi again. This also, let me get my green out. Let me do it a shading, that way I don't cover everything up. The y equals to 0, it cuts the whole picture in half because it doesn't shift up or down. And from 0 to 2 pi goes out to, make sure I zoom in so I can see right here. Here's my 2 pi, kind of up here and down here. And my negative 2 pi is right about here. So I'm just making these up. My amplitude was at 2, so from 0 I go up 2. So I'm using this light color green just so that I can make my boundaries of my curve. Okay. And then let's see, what else do I want to do? I want to cut from 0 to 2 pi into 4 again. So that meant I would cut it at the 4 right here, or at the 3 here, that is around pi. Then this is around pi over 2. If I zoom in, I see the tick mark. There's the other tick mark. There's the other tick mark. So I got my 4 equal pieces. Ready to go? Let's finish this one up. It's a cosine. It's a positive cosine, so it starts up. And it comes down to the next tick mark, which is where? Here. Then in the exact middle, it's down. See that? Then back up, and then it finishes up here. So it should be a smooth curve. Should be a smooth curve. And there's one period. And if I want to do the second period on the other side, I'll start at the top over here. It just makes it easier. And remember, I'm going to go down to the negative 2 pi over 3, then down to the negative pi, then back up to, what was that number going to be? Pi over 2. Yeah, so it goes back up to here, back up. There it goes. Let's finish this graph. Nice and beautiful, smooth curve. Beautiful. Okay, so let me fill in the gaps here. Amplitude was 3, period was 1. Amplitude was 2, period is 1. All right. I should have done one of those, but you're on your own. The only difference is I get 2 pictures between here and here. You should get 2 pictures. So if I were you, I would cut this in half right now. I would cut it here at pi and say, here's one of my goalposts. Here's the other goalpost here. Because it doesn't shift left or right, and it doesn't shift up or down. So then here's my other goalpost. And then so there's I get 2 pictures in here. Then from here, at negative pi, how do I know it's at pi? Because my period is 2 pi over the 2, which means it finishes in pi radians. So if I'm starting at 0, it's going to finish in pi, and then I'm going to start again and finish in pi. So I'm going to do half the picture. It's a 4 cosine. So I go up to 4. That's the highest it's going to go. I go to negative 4. That's the lowest it can go. And it's a cosine graph. So it has to start high. Then it's going to have to come down to the middle here. Then it's going to come down here. Then it's going to go here. Then it's going to be, I did half your picture for you. I did half your picture. Now you finish the other half. Amplitude was a 4. The period was pi. Wait, I messed up. I messed up on my picture. I was supposed to get 2 pictures in here. Why didn't you stop me? Let me erase it. When I did this, it told me, hey, you just messed up. Okay, back to that shading line again because it disappeared on me. No, I actually erased it. This line here. Okay. Oh, it wasn't shaded. It was just a regular line. It was just a regular red. But I'll. Okay, sorry. I got to divide this up into 4. So let's see here. Oh, it's okay. It starts here, goes down to here, goes down to the bottom, comes back up, goes up here. So it's going to go boom, and it's skinny. Why is it skinnier? Because in the top up here, I had the whole 2 pi for one picture. Now I only have 1 pi. All right, same thing. It's going to go down to here. It's going to go down to here, back up. So it's very skinny if you don't change the stretching of it. You finish it, all right? Last page. No, there's more. Oh, there's more graphs. Well, we haven't really dealt a lot with my b being 1/2. That just means my period is 2 pi divided by 1/2, which means, guys, 2 pi times 2 over 1. 4 pi. It takes 4 pi to finish one picture. Okay, so how's that going to work? 4 pi to make one picture. How big? Well, he's got some numbering here. That's only 2 pi. Up to here, that's only 2 pi. And over here is a negative 2 pi. I need this whole thing. Just to make one picture. So I need to divide from here to here into 4 places. So let me count them. Approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so every 3. So 1, 2, 3 is to the. Did I go the right way? I didn't do the right way. I'm to the left of the line. So 1, 2, 3, that one. 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 Okay, close enough. And so let me try to make it with a different color here so I can see it. My tick marks were here, roughly here, and roughly 1, 2, 3. Where was the other one? 1, 2. It was here. Sorry, it wasn't there. They're not easy. This is hard. I like my way better. I like just making 1, 2, 3 lines and making that. And then I like that so much easier. 1, 2, 3. That one was about here. Then 1, 2, 3. That was about here. 1, 2, 3. It's about here. 1, 2, 3. It's about here. So it's close enough. It's a cosine curve. And B, so with B is a half, that means in 2 pi I only get half the curve. Watch this. I start high, I come down, and I go to the bottom. Then it comes back. I'm not even drawing. Start high, come down, go to the bottom, which is approximately here, go up, and then there it is. And I might be off a little bit, but the idea is there. It took all that 4 pi distance. It took 4 pi distance to create one picture. Oh, what didn't I do? I gotta erase all that whole picture. Why? Who said I'm starting way up there? It was so. I mean, it almost is that. Okay. The amplitude's only 3. Oh, I was pretty close. That's the highest it goes, and then -3 is the lowest it goes. And so it actually starts here, goes down here, goes down to here, back up to here, and then stops up here. So it's almost the same picture. Almost. Boom, 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 boom. There. That matches my amplitude of a 3, and my period was 4 pi. I'm not doing another one. You're on your own. You can do those. And I'm not doing any of these because if you get the right letters down here, you will answer this question. How often did the student who got a C on his trig functions test do his homework? How often did the student who got a C did his trig homework? Okay. So all you're doing here is he's given you that there's B. He describes it, how many complete waves, an interval of 2 pi. He tells you the amplitude. Does he define it? He gives you the period was 2 pi over B. All the stuff you need to know. So let's try to pick one. Let's just randomly, let's grab one of these pictures. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, I'll pick that one. I need to have a sine curve. Here's the B. So my period would be 2 pi divided by 4 pi. I need to where it takes 4 pi. That's a whole thing. Hold on here. A whole 4 pi. It could be this one. It could be this one. It could be this one. That's too many. That's 2 whole periods. That's 2 pictures. All right, so I eliminated a lot because all of these have the same -2 pi to 2 pi. What else can I do? Uh, its amplitude is 1.5. That means if I go to 0, the highest it can go is 1.5. This goes up to a 1, so it can't be that one. This one does appear to go to 1.5, so it's still a possibility. Did I have any other? Okay, this, the heck is that? That's not even a full cycle of anything. I don't even know what that is right now. I think this needs a whole bunch to finish up. You see that? I think you need to go a whole lot more to finish up. So I'm not going to use that one right now. Do I have another one? Okay, I've eliminated all those possibilities. Wait, I've eliminated. I have. I only have one possibility. It better be this answer. Let's see. Sine curve. That means it has to start at 0, 0, has to go up, and it has to go there. That would take 4 pi if I go all this way. If I go to the left, that's half, and then I got to, yeah, you see, that's pi. That's a total of, no, wait a minute. What did I say? It takes 4 pi to make one curve. Yeah, this is 2 pi plus 2 pi is one curve. I can buy that. I think I'm going to go with that. If I'm wrong, let me know. You're on your own. Oh, I would say that's a letter L on number 9. So number 9 would have a letter L if I'm right. And I don't know if I'm right. But I'm calling it quits. I'll send you your quiz this weekend. And so all this stuff in the worksheets is good to go for the quiz. Bye.